Hey guys, Chelsea here from Making Manzanita. Today we're going to teach you how to build this Christmas tree box skirt so you can hide that ugly metal tree stand. And this one is so easy, guys. All right, let's jump in. So for this, we ended up using some leftover shiplap that we had from a shiplap ceiling project. So we already had those pieces on hand, but that was just pre-primed shiplap. And then we're also using 1x3 primed trim, and we needed about 3 8-foot pieces for that. So you want to start by cutting everything down to size. We measured our tree stand first to determine the size of our box, and we wanted to make sure we had some wiggle room, so we made sure we had a couple inches around the edge of the tree stand before we decided on the size. And in the blog post, we have all the measurements for you if you're interested in exactly how big we made ours. But first you want to start by assembling it after you get everything cut. We used a brad nailer and then 1-inch nails, and we assembled each side. We kind of laid all the pieces down the shiplap, and then we nailed the pieces together, adding a little bit of wood glue behind each trim piece before we nailed it into place with that brad nailer. And we just kind of worked our way up from the bottom as seen here, just holding the shiplap pieces into place and nailing it to nailing the trim to the shiplap. And the trim pieces did overhang on the edge of the shiplap. So you can see here later in the video, you'll see that the pieces sort of fit together almost like a jigsaw puzzle, which allow us to use Velcro at the joints. And that allows us to have the Christmas box skirt store flat, which is something that was really important to me. I didn't want this big tree box that I needed to figure out where to store in our garage most of the year. This one comes completely apart when you're all done, and you can store it in 4 flat pieces. So that's why we designed it this way, and why the trim pieces overhang a bit over the shiplap. All right, so after you get everything all assembled, all 4 sides, you can fill your nail holes and gaps. So we are using DAP premium wood filler for this, and you want to put that on. We just used our finger. You could also use a putty knife if you don't want to do that. But once dried, which takes about 4 hours, you can sand it smooth with an Orbital sander, and we used 220 grit sandpaper for that. Next, you can paint your tree color. So you can use really any color you want. I ended up using kind of an off-white color. We just had this one on hand. It was a paint sample that we had in our garage that we never ended up using. And you don't need a lot of paint, so the size of a paint sample is perfect. And since everything is pre-primed, you should only need 1 coat of paint. All right, so here's a look at the finished tree box. So when we put it together, we used Velcro on the edges, and this is just this is adhesive, and this is like heavy duty Velcro. And I just took it apart for the first time, and it was actually pretty tough to take apart, so it is pretty strong. But what I love about this is that we can take it apart after Christmas is done and just lay it flat, which is perfect. So you can kind of see it just kind of fits together like a little jigsaw puzzle there. And then when you want to take it apart, again, I'm pulling pretty hard, you just take it apart, and that is the same on that side too. And this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. You can see that shiplap, and when it all goes back together, it looks so cute, don't you guys think? We're going to put it under the tree right now and get some pictures. I can't wait to see. Okay guys, I swear I didn't plan this, but this Velcro adhesive came up, and again, this is just MDF right here, MDF trim, so it's probably not the best surface for it to stick to. The other side was fine, but this one came up when I took it apart. So, like I said, swear I didn't plan this, but DAP is sponsoring this project, and so I'm going to fix it using Rapid Fuse, which you guys know I love and use to fix like everything that breaks around here. So I'll just put some glue on here and then hold it in place for 30 seconds and be good to go. I should also mention that although the DAP Rapid Fuse only takes 30 seconds to set into place, it does take 30 minutes to cure. So be sure to set it aside and don't touch it. Don't pull on that Velcro until it has been at least 30 minutes. All right, here is how it looks once we got it on the tree. I absolutely Love it. It turned out so good. I'm so glad we found a way to use some of that leftover shiplap. And then you can see here that once we renovated our living room, even after we have sort of more of a modern look to the living room, it still works perfectly in the space. I love it, and I plan on using it year after year. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know by subscribing to our channel. We share weekly DIYs, and give this video a big thumbs up and then watch this video next. And for the month of November, every week I'm going to be sharing a new DIY Christmas decoration idea just like this video. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. It will be hitting YouTube next Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, just like we always release our videos at that time. All right, guys, we'll see you next week with our next DIY craft idea.